Well, turnovers are costly no matter what, no matter whether you won the week before or whether you lost. You can't. It's hard to win, especially turnovers when you're in the score zone, right? One of the things we talked about was maximizing our opportunities. We get a punt block, we're in a good field position, and then we don't come up with points from it. Offense does a great job marching the ball down the field. We're down to the 3-yard line. Pimp does a great job making some people miss, but you got to secure the ball. Those are opportunities. Those are 14 points. We come out in the second half, march the ball, and we have an opportunity again for a field goal, and don't end up with 3 points. That's 17 points right there. At the end of the day, I got to do a better job of teaching these guys the urgency of opportunities, because at the end of the day, you can't think we'll get it next time. You know what I mean? You've got to seize every opportunity, grasp it, and squeeze it and make the most of it.
What's the message to the team following a game like this?
The message to the team is this, and we got some work to do, but essentially how the standings are, there's one team in front of us in the East. And so there's a lot of positive, a lot of games left, and move forward, but we got to correct what we're doing that is kind of costing us.
How many challenges does the offense have, just given, Drew Brown is the guy, but without him in, how challenging is it to maybe run the right offense that you want to have?
Oh, I don't think, I've got a lot of faith in whether it be Matt or whether it be Dusty or whether it be Tyree. I don't think it's a matter of not being able to run the offense. I think, to be honest, today we had some challenges in protection that made it tough on Dusty or whoever. Drew could have been in there. Whoever could have been in there would have been tough for them to have the time and get through their progressions and go forward from there. We got some things that we got to solidify in that area.
Are you comfortable with how much Drew, Dustin chose to run tonight? Clearly that's his sort of preference, I would say.
I don't know that tonight it was his choice to run. I think there was times where Dustin had to run. I think if you look at the game last week in Calgary, Dustin's made great progress as a passer and going through his reads. And I think tonight there was a lot of people in his face, and he didn't have the opportunity or the time to do that and show his development today.
Awesome. Thank you. Do you have an update on Hessler? Sorry.
Pardon?
An update on Hessler.
On
Your defensive back.
Heslop?
Yeah, sorry, Heslop, my bad.
Yeah. Looks like a quad strain that held him up. That he got injured with, and we'll see how that progresses tomorrow when we go into medicals. Thank you. That's it. Thank you.
Just shooting ourselves in the foot, right? I think we made mistakes at costly times, and they did a good job taking advantage of it. I don't think you can expect to make that many mistakes, especially in the moments when we did. At times trying to either get momentum back into the game, or at the start when we kind of allowed them to kind of capture the momentum of the game. And like I said, expect to come out on the right side of it. So just things like that we have to clean up, details that you have to pay attention to, just constantly try to erase bad football from the field.
Dustin, after Bob said he wanted to teach the urgency of opportunities, did you feel like when you guys had opportunities, there wasn't very much push?
A little bit. It felt at times, every time we were trying to claw back or get back into it, making some plays, it would, like I said, be another mistake or something, whether it was a penalty or turnover or whatever it was. Just something where we kind of killed ourselves, whether it was the drive or whatever. And I think that's a testament to the guys. Even though things weren't going the way we wanted, they kept trying to fight back, claw back in the game. But like I said, the mistakes, you can't have that many and expect to win games in this league.
How challenging was it just to try to build momentum? It just seemed right.
Yeah.
In the red zone, and then
yeah.
Like that was so costly. Like, how do you just keep coming back?
For me as a quarterback, it's next play mentality. I think there's always going to be times where they have good players, they have a good D-line, they're going to do new pressures, new things we haven't seen, and they might get home. They might get a sack. They might play different coverage, something they might get you, and you have to kind of just reset, take it for what it was, and go on to the next play, and just try to maximize each play for what it is. And that's just kind of the mentality we have to have. And I think at times we did that. Like I said, I think that's why we found ourselves trying to claw back into the game in moments, and then we would kind of kill ourselves again. So it's just a matter of getting rid of those mistakes and just continuing to stack plays game in and game out.
You guys have a number of offensive linemen who are injured right now.
Yeah.
Given how much you ran, tell us about your thought process behind that?
In regard,
Just how much you decided to run the ball.
yeah,
Personally, like you.
yeah. I mean, I would definitely say it's not something I try to do. I would say it's something that when it happens, and it happens. I don't, I guess I would say it's kind of back to what I was talking about, where there's going to be times where they're going to get home, where D linemen are going to win. They have a very talented front, and sometimes you're going to have to take off, and that's just the way it is. But you can't let that affect kind of your thought process, the way you go through your reads, the way you address each play at the line of scrimmage. You have to have confidence up there and instill it in your guys around you. And like I said, it's not something you don't ever want to go into a pass play thinking, I might have to take off here, otherwise you're probably not going to go through your reads the way you should. So that's kind of, I guess, the mentality I try to take into each play.
What's the mentality for the team right now? I mean, you pick up your first win last week,
Yeah.
and then another game like this. How do you kind of, I guess, reset for next week?
Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of veteran guys, and it's a long season. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And even though we're definitely not where we want to be at right now, you just have to take it a game at a time. And like I said, clean up the things that we did tonight that led to the loss. That way it doesn't happen. I mean, obviously, with what Winnipeg did last year, they were struggling the first 5-6 games of the year, and it's how you finish, not how you start in this league. And we just have to be able to learn from it. I think that's what separates the great teams from the okay or the bad or mediocre ones, is teams that can take these games, because it's going to happen to just about every team in the league at some point or another, where they're going to make more mistakes than they want to. But to be able to take these mistakes and learn from them and erase them from your game, and continue to get better as the season goes on, and that's how you get to a Grey Cup and win one.
I guess personally, is that sort of your own mantra after a game like this?
Yeah, I mean, I think any quarterback that is successful is going to be hypercritical of their game, even if say someone got home or a blitz got home or something that technically is out of your control. It's going to be, well, could I have quickened my drop up? Could I have gotten it off? Could I have done this or that? I think any competitor is going to be that way and have that mindset where they're going to constantly critique their own game. And I think if you're not your harshest critic, you're not going to succeed at the professional level.
Last game where you didn't get to pass too much.
Yeah.
Was there an extra pressure to pass today, or maybe?
I wouldn't say an extra pressure. It definitely was much better conditions, and it was nice to be able to throw without those conditions of last week. And I think we took advantage of it at times. Like I said, I think there was opportunities we missed, whether it be protection, route, spacing, or just me missing the throw, things I have to clean up with, whether it was my drop or whatever. But just different aspects of our game we have to clean up. And the way I look at it with our offense is we just have to score one more point than theirs, right? So no matter what the conditions are, like last week, their offense was playing in those too, right? So in a game like today, when it's a clear, clean day, you have to be able to go out and outscore the other team's offense. Thank you, guys.
How much time do you spend in the court?
A lot.
Questions following that loss?
Toronto executed and we didn't. We made some mistakes at critical times. Defense, offense, especially things we all just made mistakes at the wrong time, and just wasn't the outcome we wanted.
How do you switch that? Like, mistakes at the wrong time, to me, that's kind of the game of football. So is it a focus thing right now in this team, or what do you think the issue is?
I think it's just knowing that opportunities are limited in this league, and when you have the opportunity, you have to make something happen. And I think I don't think it's a focus thing. I think it's more or less just us. Well, maybe it is a focus thing. We just got to dial in and get the job done.
Bob talked about the urgency, learning for players to understand the urgency when opportunities come up. There's still a lot of football left this season, so is it a balance almost of knowing a lot of time left, but making sure you start executing what you want.
Yeah, I think that's a slippery slope to go down. If say we do have a lot of time, it's a long season, as you said. But at the end of the day, you want to start off fast and you want to start early because wins and after Labor Day are hard. And all wins are hard in this league. But especially division opponents, you want to try to get that 4-point swing your way. So yeah, I think it's we got to definitely put the foot on the pedal and ramp it up a little bit, and try to make something shake.
Thanks, Joe.
Good.
Kind of flush it.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, we never want to go out there and, you drop one. But it's the game of football. You win some, you lose some. And obviously, we gotta get going. We're sitting at 1-3 right now. Slow start to the season, but I definitely believe that, we have the guys and the talent in the room to turn it around and, in this right where we want to be.
How tough is it when you see, those kinds of turnovers and that anytime a turnover is going to be bad, but to see them prove that costly?
Yeah. They hurt. We always talk about the turnover battle. And one of the goals every week on the offense, is to protect the ball. And on defense is to take the ball away. We know how crucial and important protecting the ball and turnovers in the game of football is. So, just got to protect the ball.
Are they doing something in the first half just to make it so hard for you guys to score?
No. It's always about us. It's always about we trust in the game plan and what the coaches the positions that the coaches put us in, and it's all about us going out there and executing.
Right after your fumble that got returned, what was going in your mind specifically?
Can't let that happen. Like that, those type of things can't happen. You obviously see the momentum swing and the seriousness of turnovers, especially with it being such a big play. But at the end of the day, that's just one play. There are a lot of plays left throughout the game, and a lot of opportunities, to win the game. But at the end of the day, protecting the ball is a part of my job, and that's my number one priority. And yeah, we're looking to move forward from that.
You've now had 3 different QBs in 4 games, kind of thing. Is it a struggle to kind of find that momentum through the offense?
I wouldn't say that. Obviously, every through each quarterback, that you get something a little different, whether it's timing or just cadence or play call, it may be a little different. But our job as professional athletes is to adjust to those things that happen. And so Dustin Crum got it. He was a part of our first win last week. And he played really well tonight as well. And at the end of the day, like I said, we're professional athletes. No matter who's at the quarterback position, our job is to go out there and execute.
Thanks, Gabe.
Yep. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.